today's speaker, we have with us Shivang Desai. He is a senior security researcher at Microsoft. He has rich experience of 7+ years in the mobile malware domain. His research blogs have been referenced by major international media, including Fox News, Forbes, Thread Post, and likewise. Outside of work, he loves spending time improvising his photography skills. So, on behalf of all of us, I would like to welcome Shivang and just like few instructions for the audience before we go ahead. Our talk duration is of 30 minutes, and after that, we will have a question answer session. You all can ask your questions using the chat option after the talk. And secondly, I would request all of you to keep your mic on mute so there is no disturbance in the background during the session. And without any further delay, I would request Shivang to take over the session. Thank you.
Hey, thank you so much, Shakshi, for that warm welcome. So I think so without any further delay, I'll start the presentation skills. Slides, I'm sorry. So okay, so let's start the session. So today's session is related to hunting Android malware in the wild. So let me start this thing. Just 1 second, guys. Perfect. So, okay, so today's session is on hunting Android malwares in the wild. So I'm Shivang Desai. And who am I? So Sakshi gave a pretty good introduction for me. So thank you for that. So let me quickly run through the slide. So I'm security researcher, AKA engineer. You can say I sometimes reverse things. I sometimes build things. So that's what I prefer to call myself, security researcher as well as engineer. I have 7+ years of experience. I recently joined Microsoft and I had been working in Zscaler prior to joining Microsoft. And I'm an avid blogger and speaker at hacking conferences like Nullcon, Cocoon, Awar, and counting. It's just started. And that's my Twitter handle if you guys would like to follow me. So it's 5H1 and VANG. So yeah, what to expect today, right? So first part, we'll have a quick sneak peek into what Android and malware is. So yeah, it's definitely not a malware analysis session. So we'll have a quick introduction of both. And then we'll see what is Yara, a small introduction of Yara. And in second part, we'll be having a look at using Yara for hunting Android malwares. And that's what all the session is today about. And we'll see some live scenarios. If time permits, I'll show you some of the demos also. So yep, why Android? So Android is everywhere, guys. If you see, I have seen a hell lot of smart televisions which run on Android, but very less on iOS, I suppose none. So it's in mobile devices, it's in smartwatches, it's almost everywhere. There are several app stores which remain overlooked, right? If you guys know, everyone knows Google Play Store, right? There are a lot of malwares that we hunt on Play Store. But we have Amazon App Store, we have Samsung App Store, we have One Mobile, I think it's Chinese App Store, major App Store, and almost all OEMs, right? If you take MI Mobile, Xiaomi mobiles, they have their own app stores. So there are almost all OEM who have their own app stores. And yeah, recent big news were Windows 11 is coming up with inbuilt Android support, right? So that inbuilt Android is, I think, not I think, but it's your Amazon App Store. So there's a huge opportunity. So Android and malware are everywhere, but not many researchers are there to help in this field, right? So why Android malware? Why did I choose Android malware, if you ask? So if you see this slide from gdatasoftware.com, so they say that they come across more than 10,000 new malicious apps per day, according to their survey. And they found an infected app, Android app, every 8 seconds. That's huge, right? And nowadays, if you see news, right, though it would be new abstract, if you read this headlines, it's new abstract MO Android malware seizes total control of your device and it evades detection. Then a recent blog came across, which was new Android malware steals millions of infecting 10 millions after infecting 10 million phones. Then Google had this warning for Samsung's Play Store. And there are many news which you see every day. right? So that's all about Android and a quick sneak peek into malware. So let's start with what is Yara. I suppose you all are from security background, so somewhere down the line you might have heard about what is Yara. So this is the mastermind, Victor Alvarez, who designed Yara. So it's nothing, it's not very complicated. It's a tool specifically designed for malware research and detection, and it simply follows rule-based approach. As the slides approach, I'll show you what is rule and how Yara works. So in very layman's language, you can say Yara is to files what snort is to network traffic, right? So you write snort rules to detect network traffic. Similarly, you write Yara rules. It's simple string-based rules to detect files. So how does Yara work, right? It has twofold benefits. So first of all, you have some Yara rules that you have designed. Personally, you have designed or you have got it from third-party sources. You have an app, say for example, any software or an APK or app, anything like that. You input both of them in Yara engine, and as an output, you get categorization as it is malicious or benign. So whether the app is malicious or whether it's a safe app based on what Yara rules you have designed. So what's the second fold benefit? So if you know that the app or software is definitely a malware, but you want to identify which family it belongs to. So what you can do is you can design Yara rules. So designing Yara rules is very critical. We'll see how it is very important. And again, you can send in malware along with Yara rules into Yara engine. And as a categorization, as an output, you will get which malware family it belongs to. So basic Yara rule. So guys, if you have any question, as Sakshi said, right, you can just type in the chat, and we'll have a look at those questions at the Q&A session at the end. So let's see now how a basic Yara rule looks like. So this is a very simple Yara rule, very basic Yara rule, written for a ransomware detection. So say for example, string one, this is how it looks like. First is identifier, which is important. Second is a string section, which is optional, and third is condition section. So if you see, this is basic Yara rule, which has this rule, strings, condition, and a closing bracket. So you can do this. Say for example, Yara, ransomware.yara. This rule is named as say ransomware.yara, and you set up the software or app, as I told you, right, at the end, and you fire Yara, and it will tell you if this file.exe is a ransomware or not. So this is just an example. This is very basic rule, just for an example of understanding. Real rules are actually very, designed in a very appropriate way. This is just for an example. But there's a huge but here. There's a problem. What's that problem? So long back when I started researching on Yara, I really liked the concept which people were using with Windows, especially EXEs, right? So as we saw in previous example, Yara, then rule file, and then the EXE. But when I was talking with Victor, who actually developed this software or framework, so he told that Yara doesn't offer the support for APK, right? Why is it so? Because Yara is not a single entity. APK is not a single entity. It is a binary which in itself has a lot of compressed files, right? If you guys have worked on Android, you know, right? If you use APK tool and you reverse the APK, you will got a lot of resource folders, asset folders, and there's the certificate related information, then there's Mali related folder. So Yara fails over there. So what now? Yeah, we need to find solution for this problem. So what we did was we can build in-house framework where what you can do, you can decompile an APK, you can fetch required data as a into a single entity. You can say a dump file or anything, and then fire Yara rules on that single entity. Because you have to understand, Yara initially used to work with a single input. Or else what you can do is you can use a feature called module in Yara. So what you had to do, you had to use EndoGuard and generate a JSON report. And according to the JSON report, you could have send in uncompressed folder of APK and your Yara rules. So this is a bit tricky, right? So you might be thinking, okay, so this is going all very fast, and how do we do this? So don't worry, guys. You don't have to worry. In recent days, you don't have to worry about all this. You definitely can build your own framework if you want to, as I told you, right? Building an in-house framework, or you can use EndoGuard module. But for hunting APKs in the wild, you don't have to worry as of now for this. So let's take Yara to the wild, right? So we'll see first what virus total is. I'm definitely sure 99.99% of you know. I think 100% of you know what virus total is. It's an online service that allows you to, upload a file or search for hashes or anything related to malicious contents. And second, what we'll see is kudos.com. So this guy started the project, I think so 5 to 6 years ago. And it's a fantastic project that I came across. So it's a collaborative platform that combines the power of online analysis tools with social interactions between the analysts over vast APK repositories. So down the line, we'll see both of the panels, how they look, what we have to do, how we have to do, and where we have to write Yara rules, how we have to write Yara rules. So a lot of things, guys, lot of things to cover. So I might go a little bit fast, but we just have 30 minutes, right? So let's run. So kudos.com, as I told you, is the URL is kudos.com, KOODOUS. It uses EndoGuard module in itself, as I told you in previous slide, right? They use EndoGuard module. And what they'll do is you don't have to worry about any JSON report. They inbuilt use the EndoGuard module and prepare JSON report of different types. So say, for example, they'll provide you an API. So now if you want to search for package name of a Android app, what you can do is endoguard.package name and then string or a regex format. If you want to find app name, you can go as endoguard.app name. For certificate, similarly, endoguard.certificate.sha and then string. So this site you can note down now, or at the end of the slide, I have kept this all the important links in that slide, and I will share the slide soon after the presentation. So no need to note down right now, but you can visit this site, and there's a whole list of API what you can use. Then comes virus total. So virus total has this feature of BT hunting. So yeah, virus total, for using this, you'll have to be on enterprise suite, and kudos.com is free. So I have taken both the examples. One is free and one is commercial. So VT hunting is the tool, you can say, which is used by virus total. It has two types of categorization. You can say it's retro hunt and live hunt. So what retro hunt is? Retro hunt is basically till date whatever applications that virus total has. So if you want to search in the past, then you can use you can design a Yara rule and start a retro hunt job. We'll say this as well. And virus total says they have 600 TB, right? Not GB, guys, it's TB. So 600 TB of this whole lot of collections, and your Yara rule will fire on all the apps that has been present in the past. And opposite to that is live hunt. So what you can do is you can design a Yara rule and just place it in virus total. And whenever a new file is uploaded on virus total or a reanalysis happens, your Yara rule will run in the background. And if the hit is happening, then you will get a notification. So EndoGuard uses Kudos uses EndoGuard module. Similarly, virus total uses VT module. So what is that? So say, for example, you just want to hunt for APK files. So you can use this thing, vt.metadata.file type is equal to vt.file type Android. Now say I want to search for all the APKs that have been submitted from China, then you can use something similar like this. So just grab this basic things. At the end of the presentation, I can assure you that you will know how and where to use all this. So this is again the link where you can see how to write Yara rules for live hunt, and all the API, all the syntaxes are present in this URL. Again, it has been mentioned in the last slide. So now let's have a quick look at Yara rules, Yara rule panel, I can say. So Shakshi, can you just again confirm whether you can see the second tab?
Yeah, I can.
Perfect. So guys, this is kudos.com. Okay. And kudos.com, it's simple. The registration is simple. You just have to provide your email ID, whether it's corporate, personal, doesn't matter. Username, it should be unique, and password and confirmation of a password. That's it. And you can authenticate here. Basically, login is for login. What they say is authentication. Authenticate yourself. So once you have logged in, this is the panel that you'll be able to see. So here, if you see, there are a lot of researchers who are onto kudos.com. If you see here, they have like 86 million, right? 86 million, if I'm not wrong, 86 million apps. So if you go here, APKs, they have this showing results of 86 million, three something, something. It's a long number, huge number. And if you want to search for any such particular APK, you can go say Facebook, and it will give you Facebook related all the apps that have been uploaded here. If you want to check for flubot malware, you can search here for flubot related app that has been uploaded here. And again, they will here all the researchers, you know, they have this input, or say let's take an example of this, right? So if you see here, two of the researchers have told that this is actually a malicious app. So this panel you can explore. What right now is of importance is on the left hand side, which is this rule sets, right? We have community rule sets and we have my rule sets. So here my rule sets, we'll see how to write rules specifically in next upcoming slides. So this is the panel that is important for this presentation. So new rule set. Similarly, you can go here in community rule sets. Say, for example, you want to search for specific, again, let's say flubot related Yara rule, right? So yeah, perfect. We have this one rule, which is detecting 2090 APKs. So this is kudos.com. Okay. Community rule sets, my rule sets. And second comes virus total. So once you have logged in into virus total, if you see here on the top left corner, there is a tab called hunting. Now here we have, if you hover your mouse over here, we have this panel which is important for us right now, which is live hunt rule sets and retro hunt. So that is basically retro hunt and live hunt. So if you go to live hunt, then you can create here your rule set, and will assist you with writing you can say template which you can readily use to write a rule. We'll write a rule right now in next 2 minutes. Okay. And you can note down your, like, input your email ID. And say, for example, if I input an email ID here, and if this Yara rule hits on any of the file which is being uploaded on virus total or reanalyzed, then you'll get a notification like, hey Shivang, your rule has been hit with so and so APK, right? So that's basically live hunt. And retro hunt, again, nothing much to see here. You can just create your first retro hunt job. Here you will see you will have to input your Yara rule, and past what time range do you want to see, right? Last 30 days, 90 days, 365 days, or custom range, and your email ID, and create job. So I think so it takes 3 to 4 hours minimum for scanning for 1 year, and you'll get notification in your email ID. So that basically is a quick look at the panel, just for introduction type of thing. Let's get back to our second part. Most probably I can say the second part starts now. So here, let's take an example, right? As I told you in the introduction, you might have read the intro about this webinar, right? What will you do if you don't have hold of that particular app? So let's just take an example. Let me go to the site. This is a one of the blog that I wrote back in Zscaler. It was related to a spyware which was portraying itself as TikTok. This was a major boom when this TikTok was banned. So let's assume that you are reading this blog, and I have mentioned the hash here, but just assume that you don't have. I haven't mentioned hash or any kind of data, right, for this thing. So what is there? Package name is there. And if you are reading a blog for Android APK malwares, you will see we have a lot of what to say screenshots available, right? So what you can do is you can search for strings which are unique to this malware, right? So say for example, we have this package name, we have app name. So as of now, just consider we don't have hash right now with us. So we have package name. If you come down below, there are a lot of this is kind of a command and connects with command and control center, and on the basis of what commands it receives, it can act accordingly. So we have a huge list of commands. If you see down here, these are all unique. What I have used is the services and receivers that were being used here. Say, for example, alarm receiver, intercept call, right? So once you are reading this app blog and you don't have the hash or control of the APK, what you can do is you can select specific strings and just note it down in a notepad. And now what you can do is, this is scenario what I explained, right? Assume no sample hash is provided in blog, or say hash is provided, but you don't know where is it in the while. You search on virus total, you search on kudos, but you don't have that. So what you can do is, as I told you, let's select some strings here, and package name was this. It checks for SMSs because it's sort of spyware. So it was basically stealing, one of the feature was stealing SMSs. So in order to look for SMSs, this is basically a string which is uniquely used by each and every malware, which is say content SMS inbox, app is TikTok, pro receiver was intercept call, and another receiver alarm receiver. So guys, the example that I'm showing is of a very basic rule. So you might get a question like, oh, okay, is this enough? So I can say it's not enough, but it's okay to write a basic rule, right? You don't have to worry about that. So let's first see how a simple rule looks like for kudos. Okay, so little bit of syntax form changes will be there, but by the time you get grasp of Yara rules, this will be easy for you to design. So as I told you, it has a unique identifier, which is rule space TikTok spyware. You can give any name that you want, a starting bracket, and strings. Say, for example, you want content SMS inbox, and for conditions, we want androguard.package name. So in initial slides, I said, right, it uses, and kudos uses androguard package. So androguard.package name this, and androguard.app name this. Androguard.receiver, here again we are using regex, so it is intercept call. You can also use complete string, which was com.example.dat.a8 androserverx.intercept call, and similarly androguard.receiver alarm. And this and is important here. If you write, you can use and or not. There are various strings that you can use here. This can be found in again in the Yara documentation. So let's see how this rule we can input in kudos, right? So let me just copy this thing quickly. Just give me 1 second. Let's go to kudos. Again, here on the left hand side, rule sets, my rule sets will open up this panel. You can go to new rule set. And here, this is basically a template that it provides, and it has a lot of things to explore. As I told you, AndroGuard, file, cuckoo, right? But this in 30 minutes, I won't be able to show you each and everything because each panel requires individual webinar. So if time permits in future, we'll do that. So you can just remove this. You can input your rule here, and yeah, it will give us error because we haven't imported AndroGuard module. Okay, and here you can click in for giving a name. You can say TikTok spyware. It's fine. You can give any name. It just should be easily identifiable, and it is disabled. So you can click here to activate it. You can promote the rule so it can reach to other researchers as well. And here it will take time. Just allow itself to run. And once you, after a few hours, you can go here, show detections. and it will give you if whether this kudos has any app which is hitting this rule or not. Okay, so you can keep the rule private if you don't want to share it with others. You can disable the rule if it is giving you some kind of false positives. And if you don't want to get bothered in your email, you can just go here on the right hand side as do not notify. So once this is done, if you go back, so it will you can see here your rule is in action now and it is active, right? So that's a basic example of kudos. Let's quickly back to our slides. And okay, so here is a virus total example. So virus total, things are a bit easier on writing Yara rules. You can just directly use package name, sorry, strings here. And if you want to make your rule kind of strong, then you can use VT module. We'll see in next example how to use VT module. So let's see a demo quickly for this thing. We do have some time. Sakshi, please feel free if we are running out of time or if I have just few seconds left. Okay.
Okay.
So, okay. So quickly, let me copy this rule for virus total. And let's go to virus total. And here on the left hand side, we can go to live hunt tool sets. First see live hunt. So new rule set or here, both of them are same. Create your first rule set. Again, one fantastic thing is they provide you with a template, but we won't be using that. So here is your rule for this thing, spyware on virus total. You can say, for example, what I have seen in past is you might not get a app with exactly name as TikTok Pro. So what you can do is, say for example, you want to find variants which are similar to this. So you can just remove a package app name and you can go with this package name. So I found out this was similar to SpyMax and SpyNote, right? So they have this common package name and they have this all the app. So basically SpyMax and SpyNote variants are built using a framework, or you can say a software, in which you just have to give name what you want. Say in our example, it was TikTok Pro, but you can go with any random name which is famous for an app. And in the background, it will create an APK for you, which will have an app icon, which is similar to your app and an app name. But remaining else was pretty much similar. So we can use this thing here, condition all of them, which means all the strings should be available in that APK. You can input here on the right side your email address, and then you can save this rule. Toolset requires name. Okay, so you need to give a name here, TikTok spyware, and save and close. So it will say, okay, this rule is in action now. So what will happen, guys, now from today itself, from right now itself, if anyone uploads an APK which is hitting your Yara rule, then you will get a notification like, okay, we found a similar variant what you are looking for. So this is basically, you can say, from now to future. If you want to go in past, what you can do is you can go to retro hunt. You can create your retro hunt job. Again, same thing, nothing similar. You can just paste in your same app, this thing Yara rule. You can remove, or if you don't, you want exact APK, then you can just keep it as it is. And again, same all of them. The APK should be having all of this. And you want to see for last 365 days email address and create job. So here it says starting. It will take approximately 2 to 3 or up to maybe 4 or 5 hours to run on that whole cluster of 600 TB, right, approx. So once this is started, it will go to 100%, and if you'll see here on right hand side if there is any match or not. Okay, so now quickly let me show you another example. We just have, I think, 5-6 minutes left. So that was basically hunting of samples if you don't have any sample set, or you can say don't have hash in hand. Second, let's come to a kind of fun activity, right? say you got a task to track all the samples targeting pandemic situation. So you have to, second thing is you have to keep eye for all COVID related Android malwares in the wild. So what you'll do, right? What the first thing that comes to your mind? As I told you, we have this Yara rules which works on strings, right? So what you can do is, we are a bit running late on time, so I won't ask you guys to chime in with me, but I was going to ask you guys to chime in the chat. What strings do you think of when when you want to hunt for a COVID related Android malware? So let me quickly go to strings. It could be COVID, right? The app name could be COVID or vaccine or pandemic, coronavirus, Omicron. So the sky is limit in this, what you want to, creatively think. And say, for example, that app is sending SMS and then app is reading SMSs. Say, for example, this is just a basic template that I want to have a look at. So this is a particular rule that you can go with, and here is a VT module that is in action. So now in VT, I don't want my rules to hit on any of the APKs, any of the files, right? Random files. So because this strings can be in a PDF, can be in an EXEs, right? So what I want is I want to make my rule a bit stronger, and I want to hit those this rule only on APKs. So what I can do is vt.metadata.filetype is equal to vt.filetype.android and all those strings. Okay, so let's see virus total demo itself, because we are a bit done with the time. Just give me 1 second, guys. So quickly let me copy this thing. The demo is almost very similar. Again, here you can go to new retro hunt job, and basically going in past is okay, not a good idea, but okay, we have now 2 years of COVID with us, so we can definitely go here. Okay, and again, same last 365 create job. Okay, this creates an issue sometimes while copy pasting. Okay, even in double quotes, and create job. Okay, and it should be done. Metadata. Okay, something is missing. And all of them. Okay, something has been missing here. So I think so. It's already 11:35. So basically, you've got the idea, right? You can use the rule here. You can create the job, or else, say for example, if we want to go with live hunt, similarly, we can go here in live hunt. We can create a new rule. I suppose we might get same error here as well, but let's see. Okay, so same error we'll get here also. I quickly have to see, guys, what the error is, but okay. Ideally, we don't need to import here, but I don't know. The demo god is not very happy with me, I suppose. Okay, yeah, the demo god is happy with me. So there are minute differences you can have to see, right? Because this was the same rule that we were applying in retro hunt, but I need to check why this metadata thing is giving me error in retro hunt. Maybe some syntax changes will be required. And again, same save and close. So yeah, we have our rule here, which is live. And now any of the APKs, right, which gets uploaded somewhere by someone intentionally or by mistake, then we'll get get hold of that particular APK. And if your Yara rule is designed in a way to it's very proper, strong to hunt for particular malware, then we might get lucky, right? So again, designing Yara rules is kind of an art. So I suppose every researcher, right, every security, each one of you is an artist, and you have to show some kind of art in designing Yara rules. And yeah, sky is the limit. So this is very basic stuff that I showed you. And I think so that we are again running 5 minutes, 6 minutes ahead of time. So you can bookmark these things. I'll share the link. I'll share this PDF also with you guys. So if it's okay, if you immediately want to check some links, you can just have a look. And I think so we can end the session
Yeah.
here.
So thank you, Shivang, for this amazing informative session. And I'm sure our participants must have found some important knowledge inputs from it. And let's open the Q&A session.
Sure.
Yeah, just a second. Let me just.
So let me open up, wait a second.
So we have a question, how you deal with obfuscation while creating Yara rule. In other words, what is your approach while creating Yara?
Okay, yeah, that's number one question that I was expecting related to obfuscation. So yeah, as I told you, right, you are the artist and you have to show your skills in that. So many of times, yeah, I agree with you. Many a times, package names, anything won't be, won't be many of help to you because it's completely obfuscated. So what I do is I basically reverse the app and try to search for unique strings, right? You can directly fire strings command. If you are onto Ubuntu or similar Linux related machine, you can fire strings command and it will give you all the strings. You can go and hunt for a string which you feel is unique to that particular malware or malware family. So I'll give you one quick example. I came across this kind of a family which was every time it was generating an APK malware, it was obfuscating package names, and the initial package name was always obfuscated, right? But I found one unique thing, which was it was using the service name which was common. So say for example, one APK which is designed will have say com.shivang.example.com slash particular say intercept call, and same family same framework was generating exactly same APK, same spyware, but it will be now having say com.nullcon.something.something.intercept call. So likewise, you will have to hunt for that unique string and design a rule in that way.
Okay. We have another question. Can Yara be used against an encrypted protocol?
An encrypted
Protocol.
Oh, that's a good question. I'll have to research it myself because I have majorly been working on APKs past many years. So all my research has only been on APKs specifically. So that's a good question. I myself will have to, look at it. Any other question? Is it that we lost Sakshi, or wait, let me check chat.
So, Shivang, I think, yeah, I think that's the only two questions that we had. Folks, if you have any other questions, please do post here.
Oh, perfect. We did had some of the so sorry guys, XX. I'm really sorry. I actually wanted to ask the strings and everything with you guys, but I could not because of time. So yeah, some of the strings were COVID vaccine. Yeah, Arogya Setu. That's a good one. Add meta. Yeah, we can add meta, but it's kind of optional. So if you want to use -m tag with Yara for additional information, then yeah, definitely. I personally use meta a lot. So Harshit, some of the questions were, I mean, directed to everyone, and some I think were directed to personal chat.
Yeah, so Shivang, one more question. Do you have any approach for detecting APK malwares which uses dynamic code loading?
Yeah, we will have to search for dynamic code loading. So you can go with load text or the functions that are being used. And along with that, some unique strings, because you cannot use simple loading functions, right? Dex loading functions you can use because they are string in itself, but that might create false positives a lot because there are several APKs that do code dex loading dynamically. So you can, what you can do is you can hunt for some of the strings which are unique and available in static part, and along with that you can go for dex loading functions. And again, in dex loading you will have to mention some kind of strings, right, which might be unique if you are lucky, so you can use that along with this. So again, my take would be designing Yara rules is completely upon you. And I think so. In the one of the links that I have gave you in last slide, it contains several official Yara rule sets. So you can find if you are new to Yara, you can find examples over there on how to write Yara rules.
All right. Um, I don't think so there are any more questions. All right, cool. Thank you so much, Shivang, for sharing this about this Yara framework, and it was quite an interesting session. And folks, if you have any more questions, please do reach out to Shivang, and we will also be uploading this webinar on our YouTube channel. So stay tuned for that. And thank you guys for joining, and thank you, Shivang, again.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Harshit and Sakshi, for having me here. And it's always an honor and privilege. I feel really good whenever it's something related to security and Nullcon. Just remember, I'm always there for community.